Q6140-1. A method for correcting learner impatience is for the instructor to A. Present the necessary preliminary training one step at a time, with clearly stated goals for each step. B. Key the instruction to use the interests and enthusiasm learners bring with them. C. Avoid assigning impossible or unreasonable goals for the learner to accomplish. The correct answer is A. Correcting learner impatience can be achieved by employing the method of presenting the necessary preliminary training one step at a time, with clearly stated goals for each step. Impatience often arises when learners feel overwhelmed by the amount of information or skills they need to acquire. By breaking down the training into manageable steps and setting clear goals for each step, instructors can help learners focus on one task at a time, ensuring a sense of progress and accomplishment along the way. Presenting the training in a step-by-step manner allows learners to build a solid foundation of knowledge and skills incrementally. It helps them develop a clear understanding of the learning process and the logical progression of skills. This approach also reduces the likelihood of feeling overwhelmed and promotes a sense of structure and control over their learning journey. By providing clear goals for each step, learners can track their progress and see tangible results. This helps to mitigate impatience by providing a sense of achievement and motivating learners to continue their training with a focus on each incremental goal. Overall, the method of presenting training one step at a time with clearly stated goals helps address learner impatience by providing structure, promoting a sense of accomplishment, and allowing learners to develop their skills progressively. 6141. What is the primary consideration in determining the length and frequency of flight instruction periods? A. Fatigue. B. Mental acuity. C. Instructor preparation. The correct answer is A. The primary consideration in determining the length and frequency of flight instruction periods is fatigue. Fatigue can significantly affect a learner's ability to focus, concentrate, and retain information. Prolonged periods of instruction without sufficient rest and breaks can lead to mental and physical exhaustion, which can compromise the effectiveness of the instruction and even affect flight safety. Flight instructors should be mindful of the learner's fatigue levels and ensure that instruction periods are structured to allow for adequate rest and recovery. This may involve scheduling shorter instruction sessions or incorporating regular breaks during longer sessions. By considering fatigue as the primary factor, instructors can optimize the learning experience by ensuring that learners are well-rested, alert, and able to absorb and retain the information effectively. This approach promotes safety, enhances learning outcomes, and supports the learner's overall well-being during flight instruction. 6142. Learners quickly became apathetic when they A. Realize material is being withheld by the instructor. B. Understand the objectives toward which they are working. C. Recognize that the instructor is not adequately prepared. The correct answer is C. When learners recognize that the instructor is not adequately prepared, they can quickly become apathetic. Learners have an expectation that their instructor is knowledgeable, well-prepared, and capable of providing effective instruction. If the instructor appears unprepared, lacks sufficient knowledge, or is unable to answer questions or address concerns adequately, it can undermine the learner's confidence and motivation. When learners perceive the instructor's lack of preparation, they may feel that their time and efforts are being wasted or that they are not receiving the quality of instruction they expected. This can lead to a sense of apathy, where learners become disengaged, lose interest, and may not actively participate or invest themselves fully in the learning process. To maintain learner engagement and motivation, it is crucial for instructors to demonstrate preparedness, expertise, and a commitment to delivering high-quality instruction. By doing so, instructors can inspire confidence, foster a positive learning environment, and keep learners actively involved and motivated to achieve their objectives. 6139. Learners who grow impatient when learning the basic elements of a task are those who A. Are less easily discouraged than the inaggressive learners. B. Should have the preliminary training presented one step at a time with clearly stated goals for each step. C. Should be advanced to the next higher level of learning and not held back by insisting that the immediate goal be reached before they proceed to the next level. The correct answer is B. When learners grow impatient while learning the basic elements of a task, it is important to present the preliminary training one step at a time with clearly stated goals for each step. Impatience can arise when learners feel overwhelmed by the complexity of a task or when they desire to progress more quickly. By breaking down the learning process into smaller, manageable steps and setting clear goals for each step, instructors can address the impatience of learners effectively. Presenting the training in a step-by-step manner allows learners to focus on mastering one element before moving on to the next. This approach provides a sense of accomplishment as learners achieve each goal, building confidence and motivation along the way. By clearly communicating the goals for each step, learners have a clear understanding of what they are expected to achieve, which helps to keep them engaged and focused. This approach also helps to manage learners' expectations, as they can see their progress and understand that learning takes time and effort. Overall, addressing learner impatience by presenting the preliminary training one step at a time with clearly stated goals promotes a structured and effective learning process, fostering better comprehension, skill development, and a sense of accomplishment. 6139-1. Assignment of goals the learner considers difficult. A. Usually provides a challenge and promotes learning. B. May discourage the individual and retard learning. C. Is usually appropriate for only highly motivated learners. The correct answer is A. When assigning goals that learners consider difficult, it usually provides a challenge and promotes learning. Setting goals that are challenging for learners can have several positive effects on their learning process. Firstly, challenging goals create a sense of motivation and drive. They push learners to exert more effort and engage in deeper learning strategies to overcome the difficulty and achieve the goal. This increased effort and engagement contribute to a more meaningful and impactful learning experience. Challenging goals also promote the development of important skills such as problem solving, critical thinking, and perseverance. When learners encounter difficult goals, they are compelled to analyze the task, explore different strategies, and persist in their efforts until they succeed. This process enhances their cognitive abilities and helps them become more proficient in the subject or skill they are learning. Moreover, difficult goals often lead to a sense of accomplishment and self-efficacy. When learners are able to overcome challenges and achieve goals they initially considered difficult, they experience a boost in confidence and belief in their own abilities. This increased confidence motivates them to tackle even more challenging tasks and fosters a growth mindset, where they see challenges as opportunities for growth and improvement. It is important, however, to strike a balance when assigning challenging goals. Goals that are too overwhelming or unrealistic may discourage learners and hinder their learning progress. The difficulty level of the goals should be challenging enough to stretch learners' capabilities, but not so difficult that they feel overwhelmed and demotivated. In summary, assigning goals that learners consider difficult can be beneficial as it provides a challenge, promotes deeper learning, develops important skills, and fosters a sense of accomplishment and self-efficacy.